Hey everyone, I'm Rich. So I'm sure you all heard about the new S24 Ultra releases, but in this video I do want to focus a little bit more on the regular S24 and the Plus because I think it needs a little bit more love, and besides, who needs Ultra? Now I have my top picks for what I think is the most useful and most polished AI features on these new phones. Like for example, circle to search. If any of you guys are sneakerheads out there, then you'll know that there are a bunch of abstract colorways and names that go alongside it. And hear me out. Here is the Adidas Ultra Boost in the 4.0 non-dyed cloud white colorway. Keep that name in mind because if you hold down the home button, the screen will glitter, allowing you the option of simply circle to search, and then look how accurate yet quick this was able to search that shoe, and even in the exact name. 4.0 non-dyed cloud white? And here is another pair of the Ultra Boost shoes. It still looks white to me, and like this in a slightly different shade. So for you as a viewer right now, I'm going to tell you that this is specifically called the 1.0 DNA triple white. And when I searched it up, it picked up exactly that. And that's pretty crazy. Here I also circled my Casio watch, and it also got the exact same model too. I even circled the new S24 Plus in that colorway, and it came up as cobalt violet. In my opinion though, it worked surprisingly well enough, and I just think this is super sick and one of the more useful features in my opinion, because it'll come in super handy if you want to find out someone else's clothes, shoes, or anything really, let's say something on Instagram in the background. Maybe you don't know what that car is or what that specific lamp in the background is like in my video. Also, next I want you to take a look at this photo of me out on the ice skating rink. Do you see anything unique about this? Well, I actually made myself bigger with this generative photo editing. It works well in some situations, and I don't believe it's perfect obviously, because if you can zoom in, you can see some of the added fill and the weird shadows that they got going on that they put in, which to be honest, isn't that bad. You gotta play around with it sometimes. It can produce some weird results. I've had some mixed feelings with this feature, some good, some bad, because the bad is if you do decide to move something like this S24 phone that I have sitting on the table or this stool, it doesn't quite do too well with pictures of depth. It does look kind of a little funny, don't you think? But for other things, you can change your shirt color, you can brighten yourself up, make you bigger, make you smaller, move it around. There's a lot of cool features with it. I also do like the browsing assist feature a lot too, as I'll stumble a lot upon different articles, and I just want to summarize the key points from it, you know what I'm saying? Sure, you could take this and plug it into something like ChatGPT, but this feature is built right into the Samsung Internet app, and it's quick. You also have the translate tool right beside it, which works wonders, especially since I'm from Vietnamese background. Some of the things I'd be reading, I'm going to need it to be translated because your boy's not the best at reading it. So this is really helpful for a lot of first generation children out there, or just anyone else that needs to quickly convert something to a different language. But moving on to the design and display, both phones kept the squared off aluminum build with rounded corners from last year's S23 phones. The S24 and S24 Plus are taller just by a mere hair here, sporting a slightly larger display, actually 0.1 inches bigger to be exact. So the regular S24 is rocking a 6.2 inch dynamic LTPO AMOLED display, while the S24 Plus comes in at 6.7 inches. I think the differences are noticeable. The larger screen size also looks slimmer and has uniform bezels, and both of these phones, just like the S24 Ultra, can get freaking bright with a maximum peak brightness of 2600 nits. And I've had no problems using this out on a bright day where like the sun's laser beams are pointing straight down on these phones. You can still see it super well, and you don't have to cover the screen or do any of that nonsense. Whether it's watching 4K content, movies, scrolling through the web, Instagram, looking at photos, yada yada yada, the S24 and Plus's new screen makes everything look sharp with great clarity and beautiful color accuracy. It just looks super rich. The contrast levels are very deep, even at dimmer brightness levels. Samsung has been known for making great displays, and each and every year seems like they're getting a little bit better, so I'm not disappointed at all. I mean, if anything, it's a real treat. And both of these phones feel really nice in the hand. We see a return of the Gorilla Glass Victus 2. The display feels as durable as ever. It's super grippy, super premium looking under bright lights. I mean, the body will literally shine. I think it's definitely worth the price, and it's just a nice added touch. Speaker and sound quality on these devices are very nice as well, with the Plus sounding just a bit fuller and punchier at higher volumes. If I brought just this phone into the shower or something, it sounded very pleasant with no cracking, and is able to get louder than my shower head. It was able to fill up a small bedroom, and I enjoyed playing music out of these speakers a lot, whether that be throughout my day, doing regular chores, or listening to content out in public. So the battery life in my opinion is where it's at. The S24 now has a 4000 mAh battery cell, while the S24 Plus has a 4900 amp. The larger batteries bring a small but noticeable improvement, which is no doubt helped by the efficiency of that new SnapDragon chip. Samsung advertises you can get around 28 hours on the S24 and 29 hours on the Plus on their official website, but in real world use I found it to be close to around 20 hours, and I estimated this by waking up at 9 AM with a full 100% charge and logged the screen time each hour just through normal usage of the phone. After the third day, both of these phones died around 12 PM. I pretty much had 6 hours of full use on the first day, around 10 hours on the second day. That was a lot. And 4 hours on the last third day. So that's pretty good. And mind you, I was actually taking a lot of 8K video recording, playing games, scrolling through the internet, yada yada yada. And with the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip combined with 8GB of RAM on the S24 and 12GB on the Plus, I was pleasantly surprised by its peppy performance. The under-screen fingerprint reader is blazing fast to unlock. The camera app opens like a spring that's been sprung. Navigating across the UI and opening and closing apps felt almost instantaneous. When you take this over into gaming, playback was smooth. Loading in between maps like Asphalt 9 or Dragon Ball Legends felt quick and snappy. I am worried about 8GB of RAM on the regular S24. Last year on the S23, I told you guys that I wasn't expecting to see any AI or augmented reality apps that was going to use that much RAM, but this year we got them. Upon checking device care, memory use could get pretty high once you start multitasking, running AI generations, watching movies, and everything that comes with using a regular phone. So I would occasionally keep an eye on that or clean up the space when you have some downtime. Samsung also announced that you'll be getting up to 7 years of major software updates, and that's a long time. I'll check back with you guys in 2031 to see how the phone's doing, alright? And as for camera and video hardware, it's exactly the same as the S23 from last year. Certainly this isn't the impressive 200 megapixel camera found on the Ultra model, but for many users, that's perfectly acceptable. Opting for this version saves you $400 and reduces both size and weight, which will likely appeal to most customers like me. Nonetheless, you'll still benefit from the reliable triple camera setup, a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto lens, a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens, and 50 megapixel main camera, all equipped with excellent optical image stabilization. The resulting photos are outstanding, particularly in well-lit conditions. The colors are vibrant, striking a perfect balance of contrast while preserving details in both shadows and highlights. Portrait mode looks great on here too. Even in low light conditions, the camera performs admirably. And recording video in 8K looks beautiful on here too, though it can be demanding on the battery and space. So I'd advise you to reserve such high resolution recording for special occasions. Really though, the most impressive thing I've seen in this camera is the stabilization. Samsung did a great job here, really giving us something that's exceptionally smooth. Overall, the S24 and the Plus model phones are really capable devices. I personally think that this phone has enough new features over the S23 and S22 phones before. And hey, if you're an iPhone person looking to switch over to Android, I think the S24 may be the way to go. And I think it's shaping up to be one of the better Android phones on the market right now. Because what you're getting here is something a little bit more humble, yet very powerful. But with that being said, let me know if you are going to get the S24 this year. Are there any features you want me to go in more specifically? Let me know. Because at the end of the day, I want to hear your opinion, right? So let's get talking. But that's all I got for today's video, guys. If you liked it, hit that like and subscribe button. And until next video, guys, I'll see ya.